Hey everyone, and welcome to another one of Mage's Lunch and Learns. We're just going to give it another minute or so to let some people um, find their way to the lunch and learn. But yeah, we'll just give it a minute or so, and we'll get started. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. Um, So today we are doing a lunch and learn series on building a modern Delta Lake house with Mage and its core architecture. We'll be having another one of these in 2 weeks, kind of part two, to finish out the golden analytics layer of the Lake house. One thing I wanted to remind everyone of is to ask questions as soon as they pop up. We've noticed some questions being asked after the stream ends, so there may be a possible slight delay on your end wherever you're watching this from. So as questions come up, please go ahead and ask them as soon as you can. Also, we're looking for any other suggestions that you might have for future lunch and learns. So whenever you have a suggestion or you want to see us do one of these lunch and learns on a certain topic, go ahead and put that in the chat, and we'll try our best to fit that into our series here. But let's go ahead and get started. So welcome to Mage's Lunch and Learn series. If you're first time here, these are just quick 10 to 15 minute live training sessions where we give a brief overview and walkthrough of a certain feature that we have and answer any questions. A little bit about me. My name is Cole. I'm a 7-year law enforcement veteran. Also with 5 years of data analytics consulting experience, and I've been with Mage as the DevRel for about 8 months now. So also, if you're new to Mage, you might be asking, what exactly is Mage? But Mage is basically a data pipeline tool for transforming and integrating data. We have two versions of our software. One is our Pro version, where this is for teams. It's fully managed. It's a fully managed platform for integrating and transforming data. Think of this as like your enterprise tool for larger teams. And we also have an open source version. It's self-hosted, and it's a system built to run and manage data pipelines. So some of the advantages to choosing Mage Pro is there's no need to worry about the infrastructure for your data pipelines. We'll handle all of that for you. You can get access to new and advanced features that may not be available in the open source. You can also have custom feature requests and 24/7 support. So what exactly is Delta Lake architecture? So Delta Lake architecture implements a multi-layered medallion approach. So a bronze, silver, and gold layer with ACID transaction guarantees on cloud storage. So the architecture leverages Parquet files with transaction logs to provide data versioning, schema enforcement, and time travel capabilities, while maintaining optimal query performance through metadata-driven operations. And if you see our pipeline here, this is a picture of our basic pipeline that we're going to be running towards the end of this lunch and learn. So what exactly are ACID transactions? So the first, the letter A in an ACID transaction is atomicity, where all operations either succeed or fail entirely. Um, Transaction logs and the delta logs prevent partial updates if any of the processes fail in your data pipeline. Consistency, so data always transitions between valid states. So schema validation and enforcement ensures data structure and integrity. Isolation is concurrent operations proceed without interference. So multiple processes can read and write to delta tables simultaneously. And durability, committed changes persist permanently. So transaction logs and delta logs preserve all operations for reliable recovery. So some practical advantages of Delta Lake. The first is being time travel. So you can query data as of a timestamp, and this allows you to you can actually roll back to previous versions, history of all changes that you make to your delta table. Schema evolution allows you to add columns without breaking reads, change column types safely, and enforce schema on writes. And then we have performance optimization, Z ordering for faster queries, data skipping via statistics, and file compaction for optimal sizes. And finally, we're going to take a look at this basic bronze and silver architecture of the pipeline we'll be running. So our use case is pretty simple. It's just 3 different order type files that are stored in Google Cloud Storage, ingested and transformed in Mage, and then exported to Google Cloud Storage as delta tables in a bronze and silver table format here. So we'll go ahead and head over to our demo portion of the Lunch and Learn, and I will bring up Google Cloud Storage. Let's see here. All right, so you can see we have actually several different files in my Mage data buckets, Google Cloud Storage bucket. And we're specifically looking for these e-commerce orders, mobile orders, and point of sale orders. Here with this specific date of 02/21/2025, I know that's in the future, but we've already ingested the 19th and 20th to ensure this pipeline was running correctly. And so let's go ahead and go over to our data pipeline. So here is the data loader block that's going to fetch our orders files from Google Cloud Storage. So this is just basically looking for the files in the Mage data buckets that we're going to write to the delta tables. It recognizes that it doesn't have all the same formatted files. So we have files in, I believe they're in CSV, JSON, and XML formats. So we go ahead and extract that, and then we append those files together and return them in a combined data frame. The blocks here are a little out of order, but our first block exports our bronze layer as our raw data to delta table. Let me see if I'm in that specific one. Yeah, you can see that here. So we've listed our storage path for our secrets files, basically. and then provided a Google bucket, which is our Google Cloud Storage bucket name, Mage data tables, provided our URI, and our data is in a data frame format, and we're going to append that to the Delta table. So we'll go ahead and move on. I'll run this at the end so everybody can see it. We'll go ahead and move on to our transformation for the silver layer. It's a basic transformation. It's just a price times quantity to generate an amount. So we just take the data frame returned from our fetch order files block, and then add this amount column, which is just price times quantity. Let's see, and you can see that total amount here. And then our final table is our silver table. For right now, we'll go over more of our gold layer and analytics layer tables in 2 weeks, but basically we're doing the same thing. Is we're just exporting our transformed silver layer table into a Delta table, and you can see Mage does have a really good integration with basically providing you a template to export your data into Delta tables for Google Cloud Storage. It also has this for Amazon and Azure as well. So let's go ahead and put this on our trigger so we can run this. So we'll go ahead and head over to our triggers page for this specific pipeline. We do have this has run a couple of times. You can see our basic pipeline here. We'll go ahead and hit this run once button. This will just go ahead and trigger the entire pipeline to run. We can watch it run here for a second. Also, please remember, if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them up front as soon as possible. You can see this run for a little bit here. It looks like everything's at least running now, and we've completed. We'll go back to our triggers page. All right, we've completed. Let's go back into Google Cloud Storage. We'll go back into our buckets. We'll go into our Delta tables. Actually, let's click this. All right, and you can see that we have added this row here. And then we have also added, let's see, we've added this row here. So everything seems to be working here. That is kind of the basics of what we have, but I definitely want to leave some time for any questions that anyone might have. Also, just to let you know that we do check the LinkedIn invitation, and also the video for YouTube. So if you have any questions, you can continue to leave them even after this is over. If you have any suggestions for future lunch and learns, that's a great place to let us know what you might want to see next. And once again, next week we will be doing part 2 of this. It's a 2-segment session just because the gold layer may take more time to work through than just the silver and bronze layers. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I can show you the architecture again. It's super basic, just a data pipeline that takes raw files from Google Cloud Storage. It takes a CSV file, a JSON file, and a XML file, transforms that, and basically appends them together, and then writes the raw file to the bronze table and writes a transformed file to the silver table. Does that answer your question? Is it Namiwa? And again, we'll show this full architecture once we finish the lunch and learn for the second part of this Delta Lake series. Are there any additional questions? Okay, if that's it, I hope that everybody enjoyed this session, and we'll see you again in another 2 weeks. Thank you. Oh, I see another question popping in. I won't leave quite yet. Okay, let me show you the trigger block. Let me just get back into the editor here. Okay, here's the trigger block. We're just taking a data loader. I wouldn't necessarily call this a trigger block. This is just extracting files out. We can set this on a trigger that would run, periodically, either depending on how you were extracting files. If it's just a daily trigger, you could just set this on a batch pipeline, run this once a day whenever you expect to have these different files loaded into Google Cloud Storage. But this basically just looks for the files. Once it finds the files, it extracts them out, appends them together, and then returns the 3 files in a combined data. Are there any other questions? All right, well, that's it for today, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you for attending, and we hope to see you again soon.